Hey, have you ever had one of those moments where your whole world just stops? Like, one phone call, one sentence, and everything you thought you knew is gone. That's what happened to me, Mike Thompson, on a Tuesday morning I'll never forget. I was sitting at my desk, sipping coffee, when my contractor called and said, "Mike, your house, it's gone. The HOA tore it down. My family's home, a century-old craftsman in a quiet Indianapolis suburb, reduced to rubble without a whisper of warning, and I was ready to fight like hell to make it right." Let me back up. That house wasn't just bricks and mortar. It was my great-grandpa's pride, built with his own hands in 1920, passed down through generations of Thompsons. It had creaky oak floors, a porch swing that squeaked just right, and a backyard maple that turned fire red every fall. When I inherited it 2 years ago, it was rough, sagging roof, chipped paint, windows that rattled in the wind. My wife, Lisa, and I had a 5-year-old, Emma, and we were scraping by in a cramped apartment downtown. Fixing up a house like that? It was a pipe dream. But I'd lie awake at night, picturing Emma running through that yard, Lisa planting roses like my grandma used to. That house was our future, our roots, and I swore I'd bring it back to life. I scrimped for a year, taking extra shifts at the accounting firm, skipping vacations, and eating way too many ramen dinners. Finally, we had enough to start renovations. I called my contractor, Joe, a guy with a beard like a lumberjack and a heart of gold. He'd walked the house with me before, gave me a real number, $80,000 to make it shine. We set a start date, and I was buzzing. That night, I told Lisa over pizza, "Babe, we're doing this. We're bringing the house back." Emma drew a picture of it, all lopsided with a big red heart on the door. I stuck it on the fridge, grinning like an idiot. Then that call. Joe's voice was shaking. "Mike, I got to the site, and it's just gone. A bulldozer's sitting there, and the house is a pile of junk." I laughed at first, thought it was a bad joke. But Joe wasn't laughing. I grabbed my keys, heart pounding, and drove to the property. The whole way, I kept thinking, this can't be real. Not my house. But when I pulled up, there it was or wasn't. Just dust and debris where my family's legacy used to stand. A yellow bulldozer idled nearby, and a crew in hard hats looked like they'd seen a ghost when I jumped out of my truck. "Who did this?" I yelled, my voice cracking. A guy in a safety vest, Rick, stepped up, wiping sweat off his brow. "Look, man, I'm sorry. The HOA hired us. Said it was all legal, got the paperwork right here." He handed me a clipboard, and there it was, my name, Michael Thompson, on a demolition order, with a signature that sure as hell wasn't mine. My hands shook as I flipped through it. Forged. Every word of it. Before I could say anything, a black SUV rolled up, and out stepped Diana Voss, the HOA president, all sharp blazer and sharper eyes. "Mr. Thompson," she said, cool as ice, "this property was an eyesore. The HOA had every right to act. You signed the order yourself. I lost it. That's not my signature. This is my house, my family's home, and you had no damn right to touch it." Diana didn't flinch, just held up a folder. "The property fell under our jurisdiction last year. You neglected it, and we enforced community standards. Take it up with our lawyers." Her smirk said it all. She thought she was untouchable. I was ready to scream, but a sheriff's car pulled up, and Sheriff Dan Brooks, a guy I'd known since high school, stepped out. He took one look at the mess, then at Diana's papers. "This doesn't add up," he said. "I'm halting everything until we dig deeper." That night, I sat in our apartment, staring at Emma's drawing on the fridge, feeling like I'd failed her, Lisa, and my whole family. But something in me snapped not to despair, but to fight. I called Sarah Klein, a lawyer I'd heard about, the kind who ate HOAs for breakfast. She was all business, voice like steel. "Mike, if this is fraud, we'll nail them. Give me everything you've got, deeds, photos, tax receipts." The next day, we met at her office, a cluttered room stacked with law books. She spread out Diana's papers, pointing at the fake signature. "This is amateur hour. We'll get a handwriting expert." "But look here," she said, holding up another document. "They slipped your property into HOA control with a shady zoning change 6 months ago. This isn't just forgery, it's a conspiracy." Sarah filed complaints with the county, digging into zoning records and HOA emails. I went through old boxes, pulling out photos of the house in its glory days, my great-grandpa rocking on that porch, my dad as a kid carving his initials in the maple. I found tax receipts, Joe's inspection report. Proof I'd never neglected a thing. Then I did something stupid. I drove to the HOA office, a fancy glass building that screamed money. Diana was at her desk, typing like she didn't have a care in the world. "Mike," she said, barely looking up, "you're wasting your time. HOAs don't lose." I leaned in, voice low. "You forged my name. You stole my family's home. I'm coming for you, and you're gonna regret this." Her smile didn't budge. "Good luck, Mr. Thompson. You'll need it." The HOA didn't play nice. A week later, I got a notice claiming I'd violated every rule in their book: overgrown lawn, unsafe structure, you name it. Then, at the property, I found barrels of God knows what dumped by the rubble, with a hazardous materials complaint filed against me. Sarah was livid. "This is a setup, Mike. Document it, don't touch a thing." I took photos, my stomach churning. They weren't just covering tracks, they were trying to bury me. But Sarah found gold. Emails between Diana and a county official, plotting to rezone my land for a shiny new Diana Voss Community Center. One email from Diana read, "Thompson's place is easy pickings. He's too busy to notice. Push it through." I read that and saw red. The trial was a circus. The courtroom was packed: neighbors, reporters, even old Mrs. Callahan from down the street, who'd always brought us cookies. Sarah laid it all out. The forged signature, confirmed by an expert, the emails proving Diana's scheme, my receipts showing I'd paid every dime on that house. Diana's lawyer tried to spin it, saying I'd let the place rot, but Sarah shut that down with photos of the house, my renovation plans, Emma's dam drawing. When Sarah cross-examined Diana, it was like watching a boxer land a knockout. "Ms. Voss," Sarah said, voice calm but deadly, "did you forge Mr. Thompson's signature to steal his land?" Diana squirmed, then snapped, "I did what was best for the community." The room gasped. She'd cracked. The jury didn't take long. Guilty of fraud, forgery, and trespass. Diana got 5 years, let out in cuffs, her smug mask finally gone. The HOA had to pay up enough to rebuild, cover legal fees, and then some. They issued a public apology, promising to clean house. I stood on that porch later, watching the sunset, feeling not victory, but peace. We rebuilt the house, every detail: the swing, the oak floors, Lisa's roses. Emma ran through the halls, laughing, and Lisa hugged me, whispering, "You did it, Mike." But here's the thing, it wasn't just about my house. The trial sparked a county-wide crackdown on HOAs. New rules, more oversight. Sarah and I started a group, Home Defenders, to help folks like us fight back. That maple in the yard? It's growing again, just like we are. Sometimes I wonder, though, how many others are out there, losing their homes to people like Diana, thinking they can't fight? That's what keeps me up now. So what do you think? Was this just one bad apple, or is the whole HOA system broken? Drop a comment, share your story. I'm reading everyone, because this fight, it's not over.